For many years, the question, did Jesus say anything about homoerotic relations, has always kind of puzzled me. In the last 2 decades, I've seen a very cute thing in queer churches, and that is a pamphlet. Did Jesus say anything about homosexuality? And you open up and there's a blank page. And that has been the position, that Jesus has never said anything about homoerotic relations. I have to say that I've revised my thinking on that. And it comes out of reading the Q story that we find in Matthew 5, chapters 5 through 13, and Luke chapter 7, 1 through 10. It's a story about the centurion and his boy. Matthew uses the word pais, which would indicate the word we get pederasty. In the ancient world, a pederastic relationship was an older male who mentored a younger male between ages 12 and 18. Oftentimes, it was an erotic mentoring. And certainly centurions were not allowed to be married in the Roman army. They were allowed to have concubines, slaves, and their boys. Luke is uncomfortable with that and certainly recognizes it, and he changes the word pais to doulos. We translate that servant, but it really is slave. And he calls the slave intimos, which means dear or intimate, the word we get. He's precious. And certainly the centurion comes to Jesus and he says, "Can you heal my boy? Can you come and heal my servant?" And Jesus says, "I will come." But he says, "Lord, I am not worthy for you to come under my roof, but say the word and my servant, my boy, will be healed." At that moment, the boy is healed. The youth is healed. Jesus says about the centurion, "There is no greater faith have I found in Israel." Certainly, Jesus was not naive about the relationships between centurion and his boy, that it was a pederastic mentoring, an erotic mentoring. It didn't seem to bother him. He healed the youth. And in terms of not only healing the youth, I'm sure there were critics in Capernaum saying, "Look at him. He's healing those Gentiles. And besides that, they violate the Torah. If a man sleeps with a man like a woman, it's an abomination. Look, he is performing an abomination by healing an abomination." I'm sure there were critics such as Pharisees, and we have those Pharisees in many churches today. Those churches that condemn LGBT folks who have excluded them. MCC is a community that has been inclusive. We are a conclusive community of exiles who have rejected toxic Christianity and believe that all Christians are welcome at the table. I want to say one particular note about the verses. I grew up in a Roman Catholic setting. I went to communion every week. Every week I said, as I received communion, "Lord, I am not worthy to receive you, but only say the word and I shall be healed." The words of that homoerotic centurion who slept and had sex with the youth have been immortalized in the practices of tens of millions of Catholics every Sunday. It is commemorated. Did Jesus say something about homoerotic relations in the ancient world? Yes. No greater faith have I found. I take that as a word of grace, because every Sunday I celebrate the Lord's Supper with a community of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgendered, and heterosexual folks, and that all are inclusively welcomed at the table. I say you neither need to be a member of this church or any church. The table does not belong to the church. There should not be gates there. The church and the table is open to everyone. I believe and watch many LGBT folks in their faith as loving couples, creating family, loving and honoring members of their family, caring for the poor. We actively care for the poor in North Hollywood. We care for those who are HIV, for those with breast cancer, for those who are poor, those who are oppressed, the earth itself that is oppressed by human beings by exploitation. We care for those around the world. We have contributed to HIV kids who are in orphanages in Zimbabwe and other places. We care as Christians, and those who would deny us the title of Christians are generally not Christians. We are Christians who love Christ, and Christ said about us, "No greater faith have I found in the United States than MCC." Blessings.